Oh, hey. Hey, guys, we were having so much fun just talking. I'm Tommy from Game Trade Media. This is Chris and Johnny O'Neill, the actual brothers from Brotherwise Games.
Indeed.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're having an awesome PAX.
Yeah, so you guys had a huge event last night. Tell me about that.
Well, last night we took the main stage at 5 o'clock with Patrick Rothfuss and Havana Mahoney. So Patrick Rothfuss, who PAX fans will know as Viari from Acquisitions Incorporated, and is, of course, the New York Times best-selling author of The Name of the Wind. He got up on stage to play the game that we made based on his novels. And it's a game that involves a lot of storytelling. So as we played, he and Havana, told the story of their characters, and the audience was, loving it. Pat even threw a little bit of kind of fun spoilers or kind of new content in there. It was really good.
That's
really fun.
pretty awesome.
And most importantly, that was all part of the big World Builders charity fundraiser that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have now raised over $15,000 for World Builders just as the Brotherwise team.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And like 7,000 of that was during the show. Just people typing in and donating based on, loving it, having fun.
Oh, man. So you've brought us today. What have you brought us?
So what we have right now here is the Name of the Wind expansion for Call to Adventure. Call to Adventure came out this spring, and it is a game of storytelling where you are building a fantasy character over the course of the game. This is a game you can win with points. The winner is the character with the highest destiny score, which is the sum of your triumph and tragedy. But you're also trying to tell a story along the way.
Okay.
And it was very much inspired by the Kingkiller Chronicle, the first book of which is called The Name of the Wind, which is a story about a guy who's telling the story of his life. And it's a story where, you might kind of slay a dragon. In this case, it's called the Dracus. But just as important is, meeting your first love or, doing research and discovering something. So it's a very character-driven hero-building story.
Awesome. And about how long does it take to play? I mean, if you're building a character, how long is your story?
So this is, a two-player game could be as short as 30 minutes, but
Okay.
this is about 45 minutes to an hour. And but what you accomplish in that is almost like the sum of a D&D campaign, in that hour. So you go from your childhood, whether you're a trader or an orphan or a farmer, and then you go all the way through your epic destiny. And in the case of The Name of the Wind, you might be a namer or a prodigy, or you could be, a warlord. All sorts of different possible endings for your character, and kind of play that over the course of a game.
That's awesome. So now, with this game, now you're saying it's an expansion, right? It's an expansion to Call to Adventure?
Yes.
It is. So the base game launched via Kickstarter last year. We had a huge Kickstarter. It got into stores in spring. And in the base game, it's a more generic fantasy story.
Okay.
It's sort of meant to...
Archetypal, we like to say.
Archetypal is a good word for it. It sort of satisfies your need to tell a story in any fantasy setting. The expansions are branded and allow you to sort of delve into those worlds while still keeping the basic mechanics and fun of the base game.
That's awesome. And how much does it cost?
The base game MSRP is $40.
Okay.
The Name of the Wind expansion is a shuffle-in expansion. It's at $20. You do need the base game to play.
Okay.
We have the Brandon Sanderson expansion set in the Stormlight Archive coming out in 2020. That one will be another standalone expansion.
And that one, we could say, for the first time today, we're tracking to a June release for that. So barring some kind of, trade fiasco, that's going to be hitting in June. And that's based on the super popular Stormlight Archive series by Brandon Sanderson. It'll have 120 cards, and that one's going to be awesome as well.
Now, is Call to Adventure already available? You can get that everywhere?
Yeah,
It is,
absolutely.
in stores.
Where would you prefer people to get it? Do you want them to get it
We'd
online?
love
or
for
do you
you
want
to go to your friendly local game store.
There you go.
Support your local game store owners. It's popular. It's in stock. All distributors carry it. There's no reason that if your local game store doesn't have it, just ask them to order it. They'll get it for you soon enough.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a perfect holiday duo right here. Stocking stuffer and a
It's
wrapped
perfect.
gift.
If you've got a fantasy fan in your house, and better yet, if you've got a Patrick Rothfuss fan in your house, this is a no-brainer. I mean, the art is gorgeous.
I was going to get to that. This art is amazing.
So one thing we like to do is we like to make sure all of our games have a very distinctive art style. And in this case, we went with concept art. So art that's a little bit sketchy, a little bit painterly, where you can kind of put your own character into it, rather than being told this is exactly what this character looks like. And we took this as a really cool opportunity in the case of The Name of the Wind to do 80 illustrations for this world that a lot of people are in love with but have never really seen before. And so this is the first look at a lot of these characters. Every one of these images was approved by the author. In many cases, we made adjustments to make them more accurate to his vision for the characters.
Awesome.
And that's a really cool aspect of getting to work on something like this with our absolute 2 favorite fantasy authors. It's a very cool thing about working on games like this.
Nice. And what's the token mechanic?
So the token mechanic is the new mechanical twist into this. So normally in Call to Adventure, when you fail, you get experience.
Okay.
And you can spend that experience to sort of get mad and try harder next time. In The Name of the Wind, when you fail, you get another thing that happens. You have the chance to learn a name. And this is like naming magic, where to know the name of something, it becomes yours to command. You can learn the name of fire, iron, or the wind. And once you know one of these names, you can then automatically overcome that sort of challenge when you face it again. So even people who aren't fans of this particular world have been picking this up and have been telling us, oh, this is still, I can tell great new stories with these additions, and this is a really nice mechanical twist that just gives the game that little extra level of complexity and neat stuff to do that people like.
And if you're more of a sort of gamer's gamer and less of a storyteller, it's important to know it's a little bit of an engine builder. So there is a fair bit of strategy behind it. As you acquire cards, they're going underneath your character cards, and you're gaining new and better abilities. So you are able to think strategically through the game, and as Johnny said, everyone gets to tell a story, but only one person's going to win. So you're finding different. There's many different paths to victory in the game.
There's a clear objective winner in this game from a
Yeah,
points
what's the
perspective.
win condition? How are you like, boom, you're the winner?
That's the neat thing. It depends on what your destiny is. So each of the cards has some points that they give, either triumph or tragedy. But each person's individual destiny tells them how they'll score individually.
Okay.
So everyone has a slightly different path to victory.
Because then you can't automatically plan how you're going to win.
And the destinies start off hidden. So you don't know what I'm going to be doing in terms of trying to do that. You don't know what my destiny is until I reveal it to you.
Yeah, that is great. Now, where can people find about this online?
You can go to brotherwisegames.com, just like otherwise, but with a BR in the front, right here. And that's good information on the games, how to play videos, or you can even get it straight from us, though we do encourage you to go to your friendly local game store.
Well, with that, I'm going to say thanks, guys, for coming.
Thanks so much.
And we'll see you guys at your friendly local game store.